Cool.
I wrote all
Guys.
these behind me.
Oh my, yes. All good in the hood. Hey, you know how we are when it's live. Welcome back to another episode of the Conquerors crew. I have a wonderful guest today. I'm just going to build the suspense for a minute or two. We've never had a person that does this for a career and a specialty, and it's going to be really cool today. But you know how it is. I've got to do our pillars, the Congress crew pillars, just real quick. Let me run through those because some of you guys, you need a reminder. And some of you, well, you just know them. And you're just going to get to listen to them for a second here, real quick. So the first one is hope, okay? And for Congress crew, hope stands for helping other people excel. And the reason we like to do this on Wednesday, middle of the week, and it's kind of that say, am I having a week or am I not? And if you are, maybe you can share. And if you aren't, maybe you can pick some up. So that's kind of it for hope. Okay, and then we have grit, and that is the G is for grace. And I'm talking more about the grace that people kind of forget to give themselves some grace, right? Don't be so hard on yourself. Be kind to yourself. So that's the kind of grace I'm talking about. Resiliency. You know, I've had cancer 3 times. I hear this a lot on never could have done what you did and be cancer 3 times. You can. You rise to the occasion. Human beings are amazing creatures. And but hey, you can't expect to do an Ironman the first time you train. So, you know, it takes a little bit of effort, a little hard work, and like anything else that's got value, you got to do a few hard yards, right? And then the third one is integrity. And integrity, I'm talking about the kind of integrity where when you're worried about something and it's 3:00 in the morning and you look at yourself in the mirror, are you being honest? Are you having integrity with yourself? And the last one is teachable. And I think as long as we're here on this planet, we are teachable. And whenever you kind of get on that high horse, seems like you get knocked off of pretty quick, right? And so I try to remain humble and teachable. And the last one is no quit. So hope, grit, and no quit. Those are our pillars. Hey, thank you so much for listening. Guys, our guest today is Mila Johansen. She's from Northern California. And man, like we've had a lot of authors on the show, but we haven't had somebody that is like an author coach that has 12 books of all sorts of genres, of all sorts of things, and short books, long books, the whole deal. Did I kind of cover it? Did I get it? What in this? How are you today, Mila? Tell us about it.
I'm good, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Trent.
Yeah. Tell us So I mean, from A to Z, from 0 to 100, you kind of covered all with the book.
Oh yeah, so, I do it all A to Z. Whatever you need. You want to write your book, you want to start your book, you want to finish your book, you want to publish your book, you want to advertise your book. A to Z, that's me.
I like it. Now, do you kind of use that jingle, or did you just?
I'm starting to. I did this really cool thing. You might like this. I made on Zoom 25 very short videos about each step of the way. It's on my YouTube, and I'm going to post it again next year. And you can go 2 to 3 minutes how to sign up for KDP, because KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing, right. And that is Amazon's publishing arm. And it's not just for Kindle; it's for all of your formats. You want to do your paperback first. Don't do your ebook first. I promise you will lose out. And then other people tell you,
good tip.
Do it because you'll lose your chunk of money, and you won't get that book into people's hands and on their shelf because it'll be in the cloud. And so anyway, so you get paperback, then you want to get your ebook, and then at the same time you can get your hardcover. I say do it all because it's real estate. And then the most exciting is there's a company that works with KDP called ACX, and you can get your audiobook done for free through them. They have 2 ways of doing it. They have your AI voice, or you just find a reader. And Like one of my clients just had 30 auditions for her book for readers to read it. And then here's something to remember when you sign up for KDP. This is really, really important. Your Prime account is a separate website from KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, but they're the same password. So don't change the password. Don't change your email. Because of AI coming out, they're shutting people down pretty quick if they don't fill it out right. So your Prime account is where you can buy things and not pay shipping. Or if you can't afford a Prime account, you can get a free account. But that's really important. But I say do it all because it's real estate, and then it all adds up together to give you a pretty chunk of change.
I love the way that you have an analogy that people understand. And hey, you know what? I love your excitement about books. I mean,
Yeah.
your lighthouse. It is on. You're on fire.
I'm surrounded by a book cave of all the books I've worked on. And I just helped 6 people publish their books in the last 8 weeks. And behind me are all the books, my own books. I've written everything behind me.
Right now, 12. You've written 12 bestsellers.
And more. But it was 12 bestsellers, and then I've written more books. And I'm kind of a prolific, well, I am a prolific writer, And this is my signature book. Promote your book. And so what I teach people to do, besides write their big
tell us all about it.
This book here is just 70 pages, but I always encourage people to write the short book. The shortest book you can put on Amazon is 36 pages and with a spine. It's good to have a little bit of a spine, but I couldn't stop at 36, so I did 70. But if I would have known 79 was enough to put your name on the spine in your title.
Oh!
And most people are opting to write the comfortable 120, 135 page book. But I say write your short book first, because anyone can write a 36 page book in a day or two, work on it all week, get it published in a week or two. And then if you never write more, you're a published author, and you're probably a bestseller published author. This is my another way to make money with books is doing anthologies. And I teach people to do it. This is my 3rd edition of the Cinderella monologues. And it's
yes, I was reading about that.
Yeah, because all these women, they tell their stories from struggle to success because of my grandmother's story and my story. I don't look like it, but I grew up in gangland, and my brother didn't make it out. And so we tell all our stories. And in this one, I tell the funny story of me working for Jane Fonda, teaching drama. And then everybody tells her story. There was a nun in this one, how she became a nun, and she decided she just couldn't stay a nun, and another woman who escaped a cult and how she got away from it, and then after she did this short story in this book, that's why it's good to be in anthologies, she wrote this longer book, her own story of her whole story. Instead of just 3,000 words, she wrote a 60,000 word book. So there's all sorts of reasons and ways to do it. And if you don't want to do all the work yourself, then be in an anthology. But be careful, because some people are charging $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 to be in their anthology. And I mean, I'm charging like just under $1,000 because it takes a lot of work, and I have a crew that works for me. But try not to do those expensive ones, because they'll do a lot for you. Being in an anthology is good. It does a lot for you, but it's not going to do that much. And I have a few people that were in my first Cinderella monologues, and they created businesses that are almost rising to $1 million. So being in all these books and being published. But my first idea I want to tell you is I wrote this book as my signature book. I gave it away as a PDF. I gave away 5,000 and garnered 5,000 emails before I ever put it into a published book on Amazon. And so you use it as your lead magnet, you give it away, it shows your expertise. People hear me speak, or they see my book, and they want to sign up with me because they know I have the goods.
I feel like you're like the if you will, the oh my God, how can I have a brain fart of the richest guy in the world is fixing the IPO? Elon Musk. You're like he's like the Elon Musk of Tesla, and you're like the Elon Musk of the books. I feel like you know it all.
One of my clients named me the fairy book mother. because I get people through the whole process. I make it easy. You get to be published author, and so she just called me the fairy book mother. Do you like that? Is that a good thing? I don't know.
I love it. I love it. So, I like this. I like this short book thing that you're talking about, because I was going. I've had cancer 3 times, and it's a bit of a story, right? And
It'd be a good
so,
story. Yeah.
it's why we're sitting here and why I do the podcast and all that. So I was frantically typing away, doing, and I typed up like 100 and something pages,
Okay.
like in a Word document, right? I mean, I was going and going and going, and a lady named Michelle Jewsbury, I don't know if you know her, but it seems like the coaches and so we always kind of run into each other. She said, "Hey, I heard your story on a podcast that I guested on, and I'm doing an anthology, a collaborative, her first one, and would I like to be in it?" And she said, like, all you have to do is do one chapter, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then I don't have to do KDP, and I don't have to do the cover, and you know what? I liked it so much that I did it 3 volumes with her, every year for 3 years.
Good. Now you're a published author, and you could take that chapter, what a lot of people are doing, and make it as the outline for your longer book.
There you go. Yes, yeah. And see, I kind of did what you recommend, but I did it, with the anthology, and I still got to do the big book, because tell me if I'm wrong. It's so much easier, right, to do what you're saying, the short book or the anthology or whatever, one chapter instead of like 12 and everything. I mean, like you can find the time.
It's a no-brainer. It's almost like, and especially
right?
if you're not paying too much, it's just like paying for a newspaper ad for your company. Really,
Yeah.
Think of it that way. It's
Yeah.
it's wonderful to be in these, and we have the most wonderful book launch. I do professional book launches for people, and it's important because with COVID we started being online, and so we do them online. Then I say, okay, but now do one in your neighborhood, at your church or your book club or your library or your bookstore. And but the one online is really good because you're getting people from all over the country that and your family members. And the great thing about book launches, everyone will buy the book that day. And so your big chance to bring back some of the money you might spend on editing or a book coach is that, and I don't charge very much. I probably should charge more. But what you do is you get that money back by selling the paperback. This is really important, Trent. A lot of people are telling you, do the ebook because you'll become a bestseller. Well, guess what? The secret is, and they're not telling you, I'm going to tell you, is that you can make your ebook a bestseller anytime, 3 weeks later, 3 months later, 3 years later. It doesn't matter. And you can become number 1 in all 3 categories. But for paperback, it's a little more difficult. And you want to try to get into the top 100. So you want to publish your book a week before your launch, not before, because otherwise you dissipate all that building up to bestseller.
Right. Okay.
And then everyone buys the book that week, and that's when you make a big chunk of what you spent back. And then here's my main reason. That's not my main reason. My main reason is I want my book. This is my book, From Cowgirl to Congress, about my famous grandmother. I want my book on people's shelves and in their hands. I want real books. But then you wait 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and you do the ebook. And at the same time, you do the hardcover, because here's the problem. If you do them all together, which a lot of people say, let's just do it together, make it easy. They compete with each other for bestseller, and you won't get bestseller in anything. So so you want to do your hardcover later. And then as soon as you get your ebook, you can go straight to ACX, the audio company that works with KDP.
Okay. Yes.
And you can put your audiobook like immediately. And it's so exciting because I found a really good reader. She did my second and third book. I just got it back from her. This is a very exciting reader. And she did it all for royalty share. That means I give her half of the royalty for the audiobooks.
Cool. Can I ask you, now you're saying, okay, you do a small book, you do your paperback, you do your ebook, you do the hard. I might have the order.
Well, that's right. But then again, if you're doing the short book, you may not make a hardcover out of that, but you'll make an ebook for sure and an audiobook. This is ebook and audiobook and paperback, not a hardcover, because it's not. It is. I have people who do them, and they're really cute when you hold them. But the main thing is to not jump the gun and make sure you only do your paperback first, and then you can still make the PDF at the same time for you people who want to garner coaches and emails. Which I'm giving a talk in a few days on Saturday about using your short book to garner emails and coaching, people that you want to coach. And so you just take that. But here's the secret. Here's another secret. Then you take that short book, Trent, like your chapter, even, and what you do is you use it for the outline, and then you make the longer book, like your signature book, your 120, 135 comfortable book. That's what most people are doing. That's what all these books are. They're just a little more thick than my 70-page book. And then you make those. You do that, and now you've got your signature book. And then if you really want a bigger book, then you go up to 200 pages. We're not doing missionary anymore, so we're not doing 500-page books. The most you would want to do is 300. My grandmother says 300. I think that here,
now let me ask,
is 350.
Can I ask you? Is it with all the different books, is it the similar story that you're doing, and you're just telling more of it or more details, or
more, because when we write the 3,000-page book, you just kind of skimming the surface. And, someone has an interesting question here. Hey, what is the age to write a book? And I've gotten into reading, struggling with journaling. But here's the thing about that: any age, anytime. And you want to know the secret? Excuse me, to writing a book.
Yeah, you know what? If you kind of tell us the answer, I'll type out the reply. Yeah.
Just start. And don't think you have to do this long thing. You can do 20 minutes a day, even 5 minutes a day adds up to a book. Toni Morrison, the famous novelist, said for her first book, she only had 15 minutes a day because of raising children and work. And then she became a famous novelist. So you don't have to do this big, long, 2-hour thing anymore. But here's the thing that you brought up with your journaling, when you said, oh, everybody hates shorts. I love that thing. Anyway, so what you do is, a lot of you out there, and you too, Trent, have a lot of material already that you could turn into books. And one for you, Trent, is the transcripts from all these podcasts you do. You could make a book out of that. I did a book with Dr. L. I don't know if you know Dr. L, but he's really special. And he had 50 people on a summit, and he had me. It was a lot of work, but he paid me well for that. And we took every transcript from the summit and turned it into their chapter. And that's a difficult thing to do, because people go, hey, I'm over here and I'm going to talk, and I mean, what do you mean? They kind of skip around. But anyway, so we made this whole book by that, and you could just, with the material you already have a book out there. It'd be great. And then, but the person who wants to journal, journaling, you may have some journal entries that you could create a book out of. I helped one woman. She had a master's thesis. So I gave her a template. In KDP, they give you templates where you could dump everything into. Okay, it's automatically 6x9 is industry standard.
Okay,
I taught her how to do it. She took her MS, her paper. She dumped it into the template, and voila, she had an instant book. So a lot of you out there already have material that's already written that would make great books.
Wow. Hey, I don't know if it's breaking up on your end a little bit. It is on mine, but hey, no worries.
Not here. Here. I have Starlink.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, good. Elon Musk, right?
Get Starlink. Get Starlink. It's worth
it. Forgive me if I'm asking this and you answered it. I just want to make sure that we give an answer to the question. What's a good age to start writing?
That's so interesting. I've worked with children, and you can start writing at any age as soon as you can write and read. And I would start. That's the main thing. And I've helped many children write books. And also I have a mentor. She homeschooled her children all over the world. They live in Spain and Brazil and go all over. And they each, by 8 and 9 and 10 years old, had written 2 or 3 books.
Wow.
And I worked for a woman. I speak on her summits all the time, where she helps people get into college. This is a really great book. I helped her do her book. It's how to where the money is. There's so much money for college. And she would have me come and talk because she thought that if a young person would write a book, no matter what age they were, that would set them apart when they were going for college applications.
Whoa! Wow!
Mm-hmm.
I know we jumped into this. Can we back up a little bit? Hey, I'm all good. I'm all good with it. I'm happy. I'm loving this. Can we back up a little bit and tell us how you got into writing, why you got into writing, and
Yeah,
yeah,
I have
tell
a
us
good
a little bit
story.
about that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know. And, I'm always accused of teaching like a fire hose, but that's how I like to learn because I don't want, I've taken herbology from a teacher for years and years, and it took me years to okay, she gave us 100 plants the first year that we should recognize in the wild. Well, it took me 10 years to get some of them. So I like to give everyone all the information and then it slots in later. So here's the thing. When I was 8, you'll love this story, Trent. When I was 8, I saw the movie Mary Poppins.
Okay.
And I went home. It dates me, with Julie Andrews. And I went home and when I shut the door, because I had a great imagination. Teachers didn't like me because my head was always in the clouds. But I was becoming a writer. I was using my imagination. And so I went into my room and I shut the door and I did chalk drawings. You know how they jumped into the chalk drawings and were transported
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I believed it. I thought that would happen. I still believe it, but I couldn't. I can't even draw stick people, so they weren't very good. And then I closed my eyes.
Oh, I can't. Yeah. I have no artistic or music ability.
8 times, and guess what? It didn't work because it didn't work. But I still believe it could because I've done some soul traveling and some meditations and stuff. But anyway, so it didn't work. So then I thought to myself, well, how can I make that magical world? And I thought, well, I could write it like the Oz books, like Nancy Drew and all my favorite books. So I started writing. I wrote
the Bobbsey Twins. The Bobbsey Twins.
Yeah, but that was it. I was going to say Bobbsey Twins too. But see, I started.
I read the Bobbsey Twins. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know, and I love Nancy Drew. But I wrote it in half, and I quit because I was 8. That's how I got started.
Okay, you know what? That's awesome. That's awesome. You couldn't really draw it artistically, so you wrote the environment out, so to speak. Yeah, that's super cool. I love that.
Well, and then when I was 18, my mother tricked me into becoming a writer to you guys because I'm saying write for like 20 minutes a day. She said, Mila, I know you want to be a writer. Why don't you just write 1 sentence a day for a month? And I went, okay, I could do that. Well, guess what? You can't, Trent. It's like potato chips. You have to write more. And by the end of the month, I was a writer. So I'm tricking you guys with 20 minutes.
I love it. It's the analogy of like once you open the chip bag, it's like you're gonna eat the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So you're not gonna write 1 sentence, you're gonna write a page, right? That's awesome. That's super cool. Just a few kind of random question things. Do you have a favorite genre that do you kind of move around and say you kind of go through stages and things?
I'm terrible. I do them all. I mean, I'm not terrible. It's really good. I actually work on like 5 books at a time and they feed each other. I have novels that I've written that are ready. I write how-to books. This little book, my little signature book, I'm now expanding it into a 200-page book on exactly how to publish, exactly what to do, blow by blow, bullet by bullet. And that's going to be quite a book. And I'm actually going to charge a lot of money for it because I've put so much into it.
Yeah.
But this little tiny book, 70 pages, is going to be a miracle 200-page book. That's all. You won't even need to hire me anymore. But most people do. They want me to hold their hand through the process. But yeah, I'm writing novels. I wrote a novel about Tuscany, about travel, a kind of a romance with a mystery in it. And then I did my grandmother's book. So memoir. I love memoir.
Okay. Yeah.
And she was very famous. She was the first woman lobbyist at the Capitol. She taught Eleanor Roosevelt public speaking. She put together the Pulitzer School of Journalism. Oh, you heard that? That's right. Yeah, that's right.
No. Well, but no one else did. I read up on the talking points, right? So
sure.
Super cool. Yeah, that's neat. That's really cool.
So don't limit yourself. Write everything. And it's funny because most of my clients come from this little book that about writing and publishing. So So everybody could have, if you're into that coaching, and a lot of my mentors, when COVID hit, I had to reinvent myself. I had been teaching offline, and my book came out. You're not gonna believe it. This book came out in March 2020 as COVID hit. I thought I'd be
Oh,
speaking
wow.
in California, DC where she worked, London where she worked. I couldn't go anywhere, so I started speaking all over the world. And then I took all these mentor classes. I don't even know what Zoom was. And I took all these tech classes, and now all the mentors are saying, you've probably heard this. Tell me if you have, that the coaching will never go down, even if there's people don't have money, they'll pay for coaching.
You know what? The ones, like the ones they're dedicated, like there are some people that are with you, and those, it doesn't matter, right? And that's kind of, like, I don't want to get off like too much, but that's kind of like the high ticket thing that people,
Yeah.
dream about, and everything. But you know what? I mean, my thing, my currency is a genuine thank you when I've helped somebody with their health, and
Mm.
overcoming, something that, a lot of times it's cancer. A lot of times I deal with that, but man, there's just nothing like, you know getting a thank you from, like, God, you really helped me. I that that's just that's my $1,000 bill right there.
I like that. Your currency. That's a good way to put it.
And hey, they don't come often, right? You
Uh-huh.
know,
Uh-huh.
thank yous and appreciation. It doesn't happen as much as it used to, like
Uh-huh.
when we were younger. It's just the world's faster, and it's not as polite as it used to be. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying it's good. It's just different. And yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. Um, Golly, I've gone through the KDP thing, and created my profile and all that. I'm just curious. Do you think that is difficult to do, or like for the average person, or tell me what you think about doing that, because most people are really scared to do that.
Well, you can, KDP is really easy compared to Ingram Spark. Ingram Spark is where you get into libraries and bookstores, and I don't get a lot of traction from them. KDP is the best. They have 3 easy pages. It's free to publish, Trent, free.
Right.
And 3 easy pages to fill in. They're not difficult. It's not hard. And the thing is that you could get through it without me or someone, but there's these little tricks I know and layers that get your book more noticed, like to get the right categories, the right keywords, and all of that, and to get the right cover, because a cover is a business decision, a title is a business decision. So that you could get through it on your own. And here's a trick for everybody: there are tutorials on YouTube on every step of the way. And then when my book comes out, it's going to be called The Bible of Self-Publishing. You will want that book because I'll take you through blow by blow. Oh, and my 25 videos on YouTube also take you through all. I don't show each thing, but I tell about each thing. And I had one man who was going to sign up with me, and he watched all 25 videos, and he said, I don't think I need you. I think I can do what you said in the video. So I thought that was good. I mean, I was glad they were effective. You know what I mean? But most people sign up with me because they want me to hold their hand. And I'm not bragging, but I do know more about self-publishing than almost anyone on the planet with these little layers I do.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? I don't think you're coming across arrogant or cocky or anything. I mean, you know your stuff. I mean, and that's just it. I mean, so, and then, hey, that's right. People will pay, even though they know how to do it, because they want to spend some time with you, and they want those tips, those little secret tips, and those little tools, and they love that stuff, right? Yeah, that's really neat. That's really cool. You know what? I can tell that you got the coaching gig down because you're not trying to hide anything. You're not trying to hold anything back. You're like, I share it all. I share it all, because you know that the people that really want to work with you are going to come work with you, right? And the ones that aren't, hey, it's okay. It's
Well,
okay,
that's more too.
because
Even though
you
I'm
don't fit, and you don't want to force a fit, right? I don't either.
Right,
like if it doesn't work, I'm like, if I know somebody that I think can help, let me introduce you to this person, because it's how it is. It's terrible to do a book project with somebody when it's square peg round hole, that old analogy thing, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And just remember, everybody, there's lots of room for coaching. My one friend said, even in a depression, people will buy chocolate, movies, and booze. and now we're adding coaching.
Yeah. Yeah. So, looking through, do you offer like, do you do group courses with people, or are you more one-on-one, or tell us a little bit about that part of your
I
business.
mainly work with people one-on-one because they're doing books. Like some people come to me and they're just starting their book. Some people come, their book's almost ready. I just had a woman come to me and her book wasn't quite written, but she said, "I want to do it fast." I go, "I'll go as fast as you want." So she wrote it in 2 weeks. We just put it up for samples today. That's one of the best attributes of Amazon is they let you look at a sample before the book is ready so you can check it out. Please promise me, everyone, you will never, never, never,
Cool.
never publish a book without getting a sample. So then what happened is so we're getting her book done in 2 or 3 weeks, and it's still going to take another week for it to get here. We're going to still fix it and do it. So now she'll be done in 6 weeks. Other people, they take a whole year with me, but they love being with me, and I help them write it, and we get all that done. And then you can have AI write your books, but try not to. Try to write your own books too. Yeah, I'm having AI make my covers though, and they're turning out beautiful right now.
Cool.
But
Cool.
so there's a lot of, I don't know. Did that answer the question? I'm not sure I stayed on task.
You know what? We're just jumping around all over the place, and I think it's wonderful. I mean, I'm good with it. I feel like we're having kind of four or five conversations at once, and we're
I know.
talking about this one and that one and everything. I'm good. That's awesome.
Okay, well, I mainly do one-on-one, but I also teach classes. Dr. L and people hire me to come in and teach classes to their groups, and so I often do that. But then I just had a class this last weekend called How to Write Your Short Book in a Day. So 5 hours, we do 20-minute spurts. Then I do all this fun publishing stuff. So everyone has a really good time, and everybody gets their book done, or mostly people get a really good start. I wrote this book in that class. I just put it in a template, and then I double spaced, and I put 1.5 between sentences, and voila, I had a book.
That looks so tidy too.
It's beautiful. You know why? Because they have really good templates on Amazon that you can use. But also, when my crew does books for people, usually they want my book designer to do a book. Like she just did this book. It's about a girl growing up in Wisconsin, and she's a very good writer, very entertaining. And so we just make beautiful interiors. See, like that. We make just, you want to have enough space in the gutter. And what I'm noticing, a lot of people aren't putting enough gutter, even in some of the anthologies I've been in. And I don't want to tell them because I don't want to make them feel bad, but I probably should.
Oh, yeah, see, I mean,
color.
like,
yeah,
that's what the super expert knows about the subject, right? About those kind of little things. I got a kind of a random one. Tell me about like one of the craziest projects that somebody came to you that was a disaster, right? And they wanted to get the thing done in like a ridiculous time, and they had a deadline or something wacky like that. Do you have a story for us?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure because most people they get it together. I've had a few people who just have wild stories, though. I'll tell you, where I almost couldn't read them. But one guy was really, really fast. He would love this book by him. It's called, I can't remember now. We just finished it, and it's sci-fi, because I do have all genres. It's the same process. He did sci-fi Catholic horror. I couldn't read the book. It's a good book, and he's a good writer. I was reading some of his writing, but it was I can't do horror or sex.
All those together? All those things?
Yeah, and it's called What Remains. The name of the book is What Remains. Wow. And he sold it to quite a few people, but it was kind of a wild book because sci-fi Catholic horror.
Right, but then you said Catholic. Yeah, do you say Catholic in there too, Susan?
Yeah, Catholic.
Oh, that sounds. Yeah, oh man, I can imagine it sounds like kind of kooky, kind of.
Well, it's actually well written. It's actually a good plot. Everything's good in it. It's hard for me to read stuff like that. because I'm more sensitive than some people, you know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough.
But
Yeah,
he did it in 4 weeks. He did it fast. We got it done. We did a book launch, you know, and he comes from an Italian family, so he had a huge amount of people coming to the book launch,
Oh, wow.
and then everybody bought it. Now, when you write a book, when you're done with your book, I want you all to promise me that you will shout it from the rooftops. I wrote a book. Support me. Help me become a bestseller. I have all this verbiage. I have these verbiages written already that people can take, and I should give that away as a gift someday. That people can take and write their little verbiages, like for Facebook, for an email, you know, and then to make sure you don't miss. And then whenever someone else writes a book, go in and leave them a review, because reviews really help the book get noticed.
Yeah. Lee, cookbooks. You do cookbooks as well, right?
Yeah, I've got 2 cookbooks here. Wait till you see these. We did them 8x10. You know, 6x9 is industry standard. Well, we did this one, the Garden Goddesses, and it was an anthology where everyone got 10 pages, and we did really beautiful pictures inside. You know, we did a whole thing. When you put color in a book, it makes it cost twice as much. So this is a very expensive book, but the Goddesses were so pleased. And this book you will love is by a very famous journalist back east, I think in New Jersey. And her high school friend, drew the picture, and all these animals are her real animals in her real life. And she's been on the red carpet with all these people, with Snoop Dogg and the Golden Girls and the Housewives. And here's one inspired by Unsolved Mysteries. She got to Married to Mimosas. She got to interview all these people, and here she is, like on a red carpet. The picture of her, we put her picture in, and she tells a story about each person that she interviewed, and then she puts a story with it. And that's another anthology some of you could put together, is a recipe for people, you know. And she did, let's see, Bob. She just did everybody, you know, Bob Hart's Asvola, whatever that is. I don't know all the people she interviewed. Here's the one inspired by the Golden Girls. And she got to go to the White House, and she had a picture of her at the White House. Yeah. Here's Mamma Mia meatballs. And her friend did all this beautiful artwork that from her friend from high school. Killer cover, killer everything. Yeah, and I have a cookbook coming out. Cook on Monday, eat till Sunday. Cook once. And then eat it all week. That's what I do.
Now let me ask you. You did a cookbook anthology, right? And you said each recipe writer had like 10 pages. So did they do like 10 recipes, or they had 10 pages to do whatever they wanted?
They had the pages. Some pages have 2 or 3, but they each got a. Let me show you. They each got a page with their headshot and a story and the contact information, and then we go into their recipes after that. And so each person got their own. She did tiramisu. She only wanted to put in one recipe, so she put in a tiramisu because she's Italian, and then we put a beautiful picture of her tiramisu. And awesome. then some people wanted to put more, so everybody got 10 pages.
Right. And they kind of just did what they wanted with them, right?
Yeah, they could do whatever they wanted with the pages, even though we had to make the artwork. We had to make the pictures work. If they didn't work, we'd go find another one. Some people took their own pictures, which is okay for an anthology. And then, but then we had some professional pictures too.
Yeah. Let me ask you, how much harder is it when you do a book and when you have to add pictures and artwork in with the words? Is it about twice as hard, you'd say?
What you will need if you do color pictures, even one drop of color, if even it's just a splash, will double the price of your book, and you won't sell as many. But some people need to do that. Look at this.
Because of the price of the book, right?
Yeah, look at this book. She traveled the world, took her own pictures. I saw her in this hammock. I said, that has to be your cover, because it was so good. Look, we wrap it around. We're wrapping the covers around the pictures.
Oh, and then cool. Yeah, that's cool.
We had our professional woman, make her art on different color pages. Because
Now
if you
I
add
keyed
color, you can
in.
add all you want. It doesn't cost to add more color than one drop. It's all the same price. But her
Right.
book is pretty expensive compared to what it would be.
I'm sorry if I'm talking over you.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Earlier I keyed in on the fact that you were like your cover is so important, and I used to have a kettle corn popcorn business where I manufactured and we made like potato chip bags but popcorn, and I sold it all over Australasia. I lived in New Zealand for a third of my life, half my life, whatever. But here's what's kind of my saying: the first time you buy with your eyes. And every time after that, your taste buds tell you. So the first time I got to get you here to go, this bag looks beautiful and I want to try it. But what's inside has to tell your taste buds. And every time you're in the supermarket, you want it again. So is that kind of like the cover? Would you kind of agree with that about the cover, that the cover, you got to catch them, and then the inside has to be good, because then they'll know, like the next time they see your name, wow, I like that author, and they want the book, right?
Well, yeah, and in Cinderella Monologues, what we do is we put their color pictures on the back of the book, like I showed you everybody's pictures there. But inside we do black and white, so the book doesn't cost more and more people will read it. Because when you're doing an anthology, you owe it to the people to sell as many books so they get the advertising that they're counting on inside the book, or people reading their stories. But also, with my grandmother's book, we put in 98 rare pictures, but we did them all black and white because they were old. We got Eleanor Roosevelt, we got her in her spiffy bathing suit going down the Potomac, but we had to get 8 with that many pictures and subtitles. We had to get 8 samples. Now, usually you'll just get 1 sample for your book, or maybe 2. But with the color book, we had to get a lot. But she wanted it in color because she had taken all these pictures when she was traveling around Europe her whole life. Right. And but most books we don't put color in, everybody, because we want people to buy our books. But if you do put photos in, like I think in this book, I love this book about Wisconsin. She put a few photos in, but she put them black and white. Let me see. Oh, I don't see them. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here she goes. So she put them in black and white, and then that way the book wouldn't cost more. So,
Yeah, I think that's a good compromise, right?
Yeah.
Can you give us one tip about something you say good to do with the cover, and a don't do about the cover?
Okay, yes, because I had a woman and I designed her cover for it. It's the most beautiful cover. I wish I had it here. And I did it on AI. I'm getting really good on AI by accident. I didn't mean to. I didn't like AI, but at Christmas I realized it's here to stay. So I started making pictures of me on a unicorn holding my book, in a space suit holding my book. But what happened was, But what happened was, what was the story I was telling?
I was asking you about one positive about a book cover.
Yeah. Okay. So the main thing is you want your title to be read, because listen, when you go on KDP, they're going to give you your own Amazon page. They're very cool about that, and your picture and your bio, but your thumbnail of your book has to show up. It's small, and even it gets smaller in other places. So you want it to show up. So you want the title and your name to be big and to be blocked. I just was working with this woman. I did her cover, and it's beautiful, and it was blocked, and it was looking good. But she got all artistic. The new writers want to do this. I want my title in script, italic or whatever. Guess what? That made it completely unreadable because it was too artistic. It would never show up in the thumbnails. So you don't want to use script on your cover. That's one of my main no.
I love this. I mean, because you can have a wonderful story and a wonderful book, and your cover is kind of poop, and no one ever even looks at the first page, right?
Because with so many AI books coming up, when it first started with AI, they were letting people put 100 up a day. Now they're doing, I think, 10 a week. And it just ruined the market almost. That's why I was against it. But now that it's here to stay, I'm doing it, and I'm making beautiful covers. I just do 2 little prompts. The main thing about AI right now is don't say too much. Just say, I want a 6x9 PDF of my book with 180 pages, and I want you to have a covered bridge with a boy walking up there with a knapsack on him with the river down below. And I came up with the perfect cover immediately. So the main thing is you want your cover to grab people. And like my one mentor said years ago, a cover is a business decision. And so you've got to make sure it does, it gets hold of people, like you said, same thing, just what you
got to catch the eye, right? It's got to catch the eye, doesn't it?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, okay, several times, KDP, you've said KDP, 6x9 standard, and then the 8x10 thing. Can you expand on that just a little bit so people understand that a little better?
Sure, 6x9 is industry standard. Most books you buy at the bookstore are going to be 6x9. Now, she made hers 7x8, a little bigger for her color book, which has turned out so beautiful. But most people are doing 6x9. But for the cookbooks, we're doing 8x10. We just think it looks good as a cookbook. But the other thing is, a lot of people are doing companion, watch this, workbooks. I'm just speaking by the books. She did her book, how to, hate fundraising. She goes, I'm not sure I like the word hate. I go, with so many books coming out and people calling their books badass this and badass that, let's do hate. And she goes, okay. So she did hate fundraising, hate football for football widows. And then she did a 8x10 companion workbook.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
6x9.
Does that work good? Does that work good if there's meaty stuff in the workbook? Yeah.
And it's funny because I just started with that woman who wanted to do her book in 4 weeks, and she works for a big concert hall they just built, and they were doing fundraising. She goes, I just found this great book. It's called Hate Fundraising. I go, oh my gosh, I get that book. So, and I took a picture of her with the book and sent it to my client that did the book.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
I know.
She's kind of got a theme going there.
Huh?
She's kind of got a theme going there with that hate thing, right? Yeah.
She has. I love her hate football. If I could see it here, it's under this pile somewhere. But the hate football book has a really great play-by-play. She said she hated football, and one day she loved football, and now she teaches people to love football. Women.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You do so much, you teach so much. What's your favorite kind of book to teach or genre to teach, or do you have one? I'm sure you probably kind of, you could probably kind of evolve over time. But what's your favorite thing right now?
You ask great questions. You know that you really do. Better than most. I'm on 1 to 4 interviews a week, and you're one of the best questions.
Oh, thank you so much, because I want to get down in there a little bit, right?
Yeah, you're good.
And I want the listeners, when they spend an hour with us, go like, hey, I learned something, and I can use that when we turn off the, when it's the end, right? Because I want them to say, I spent an hour with these people, and I got something out of it, right? And they'll come back.
Yeah,
that's how I do it.
You give more than you think. There's always more. Even though I try to give you everything, there's so much more. In my book, people get blown away by my book, but I tell them this barely covers the surface.
Yeah. I can tell. Yeah, this is just iceberg with you. It's just the iceberg. Yeah.
Okay. So, wait, what was that question? Now I lost my train of thought.
What do you like? What do you enjoy teaching right now?
I love helping people write their stories. I either like to help them write their stories like the Cinderella monologues, or I like to also, that's more like memoir, what happened to people. I love memoir, but I also love helping people write their business books so they can promote their coaching business. And here's the story. You're not going to believe this, Trent. This is unbelievable. I've been teaching this ever since my grandmother's book came out, but then I went back and read my grandmother's book because I didn't understand it before I was teaching it. I'm one of those people who, if I learn it, I teach it right away because I taught at the school for adults with 24 computers in the room, and I taught all these things. So anyway, I reread her book. Guess what? You're not going to believe this. My grandmother wrote a book called Time to Speak Up in 1946, and she toured the whole United States. I get really jealous, speaking in front of 2,000 people at every stop and selling her book like hotcakes. So what she was doing was exactly what I'm teaching people to do. Write your signature book, sell it, and then teach from it. And you know what? She was doing that in 1946. We all think it's a new thing. It's not new. Shakespeare said there's nothing new under the sun. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. So you enjoy whatever someone is passionate about, and they know that's their subject, like books. You enjoy helping pull that out of them and put it on paper, and then they're able to sell that and teach people, right? Because
the cookbooks were fun. The cookbooks were a lot of fun.
I bet now. Do any of the girls kind of get at each other about like my recipes are better than yours?
No. All of us said, everybody said, I want to try your recipes. We're so glad to have the other recipes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then the head goddess, she's the one who perpetrated the book. She gave us, we couldn't believe it, her sourdough bread recipe, which is killer good. And most of it's all organic in this book too. But she put her recipe in the book, and we're all like, oh, yay!
I love sourdough bread too, and it's better for you, right? I mean, that's what yeah. At least that's what they tell us. So that's what I believe. I just want to be conscious of time because, at the beginning we started, and so if you need to go, and we got a few minutes left. If we have a few minutes, I want to ask you a couple other things if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got one for you here. If I could follow you around for a week,
you have good questions.
What would I discover about you that people would think would be surprised about?
Well, I'm headed to San Diego tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going for a week, and I mainly go down there to boogie board.
Oh, cool! Good for you. Now, I'm not trying to get in your business, but do you go with family? Do you go with friends?
I'm going with my husband now. We used to go with the family, but my daughter's older now. She's here, and you won't believe it. She makes $1,000 a week selling on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. She's brilliant antiques and jewelry. I know. And then and my husband. We're organic farmers. We've had a big time organic ranch, but he and I are heading down together to San Diego. We have these free stays that someone gave us on the beach, and I'm going to boogie board every single day 3 times. My boogie boards are
up for like a week. You taking a week holiday or something, a week break?
Yeah. I go away a lot, and I love San Diego. I could live there. It doesn't feel crowded to me, but I love swimming. And I wrote an interesting book. I don't know if I should tell you. If you're a Christian, I probably shouldn't say it. But anyway,
I don't mind. I'm open-minded. I don't care.
Okay. Well, here's what I wrote. Okay, a novel, very interesting about India, and it's about an aging Indian guru, who very humorous, who plans his next life as a surfer in San Diego. It's all about giving. It's all about giving it forward. I think that's hilarious. It's a very funny book, and it's very entertaining because I read spiritual books, but when I read them, I can read one sentence, then I have to think about it all day. I can't even read the book. So I wrote it into a character-driven novel so people could get all the precepts and ideas.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Golly, so cool. So cool.
Oh wait, so if you're gonna follow me around, you better bring your boogie board.
Right. Okay, so that's gonna be the thing, right? So if it was this week, I mean, I don't think anybody would have guessed that you have a hobby of boogie boarding.
And I'm 71 years old, you guys. My grandmother had a career till 94. She took me along when she spoke with Gloria Steinem and Marlo Thomas in Hollywood all the time, and then Jane Fonda hired me to come teach drama for her, and so at her children's summer camp, and so I'm kind of like my grandmother. At 70 is young right now at this point.
Yeah, I think you've got the energy, of 10 people, so to speak. Like I don't think you're slowing down. You're not slowing down a bit.
Oh no, I'm going to be like her. Even when I was 18, I loved her so much. I was with her all the time, and I would say, I'm going to make a great old lady because I'm already eccentric. I'm 18 years old.
Oh, that is too good. That is too good. Now, you live in Northern California, right?
We're our own state. We're a different state from Southern California.
Right. Kind of what area of the northern part, if
We're
you don't mind?
between Sacramento and the foothills. We're between Sacramento and Lake Tahoe, and we go to Lake Tahoe
Okay.
a lot because we're only 2 hours away. And I swim in that ice cold water. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good for you. I do
Hmm.
the cold shower thing, right?
Me too.
And
Yeah.
it's taken me a long time to kind of like it a little bit. Um, yeah, my brother's in the service, and when they're not doing so, they're training. Like these men are like a machine together, right? So
Mhm.
they train together and everything, and they have their cold plunges where they're different temperatures, and they do 1, 2, and 3. I mean, hey man, I'm just gonna go to the cold shower like up at the club, but he started telling me about the benefits and what it does for your circulation and
Yeah.
the inflammation and so
Takes away my back pain if I go in ice water, cold
yeah, you
weather.
know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got like 8 rods across my pelvis and my spine and everything. So I'm with you. I have to always kind of keep moving, or I kind of get old and stiff. And then you know how hard it is when you get like that to kind of get it back warmed up again. It's a lot
Well,
of effort.
walking, I walk every day. It makes me put on my brave. It makes me super happy and energetic. I never miss, even if I'm sick.
Yeah. How much? How far do
Just
you
20
walk a
minutes.
day?
20 minutes, and then I try to walk another 20 minutes when I can. But if I don't do the 20 minutes emotionally, I'm a real happy person normally, but
Yeah.
I can emotionally implode if I haven't exercised.
You know what? And I lived in New Zealand. One of the really famous rugby players. His platform was depression, and his thing was, I have to work out at least 4 times a week.
Yeah,
If I work out 3, I'm not good. If I work out 4 or more, I'm good. And so that was kind of his formula. He wasn't saying that's everybody's. He's saying find your thing,
yeah, yeah.
right? So yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Anything that you want to share that you haven't? Anything that comes to
Oh,
mind that you're like
yeah.
you got a surprise kind of
Okay.
wind down tip for us?
Look me up on milajohansen.com. You
Awesome.
can see all my
Yes.
programs and my books and everything there. And then one more thing I want to tell you about is
Yeah.
I have now 4 books of the Cinderella monologues. We're doing the 4th book now, and the
Okay.
stories are amazing. And so but we're doing, because I have enough women now for the first time, and I
Mhm.
hope maybe you'll help me promote it. Is the
Absolutely.
Cinderella Celebration Summit. The first one, it's going to be the second week in September, I think, and I'll let you all know. And it's going to be exciting to come to. And I'm giving away vacations at it as well.
Whoa. Cool.
Hey, Trent, I'd like to
Um,
talk to you about that program. You might like it.
I mean, I'm all about some free vacation time. Like I might even kind of do some really like light boogie boarding.
Well, me too. I don't do the big waves. I do the whitewater and the
Oh
small waves. I'm not that brave, but I love it. I just love the ride. You go there, and there you
yeah,
go. It's my favorite thing. I used to body surf, but now the boogie board takes you faster, so I like it.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
can
I
do
mean,
it
it's a
till
little
I'm
easier too.
98.
Yeah,
Huh? What?
it's a little easier too, right, with the boogie board because you
You
got the
just
thing
throw
under you.
yourself in front of the wave. I don't do
Yeah,
fins or anything. I just throw myself in front of the wave, and I can
yeah.
do it till I'm 98. Honest to God.
Man, gee whiz, too cool, too cool. Okay, so how people can get in touch with you? Tell us your website and spell it for us too, please, will you?
Yes, it's milajohansen.com. It's simple.
Okay,
It's my name. You can see it spelled right there. And my company's called From Pen to Published, and I just love helping people publish their books. It's like a puzzle for me. It's fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so is the easiest way to get in touch with you go to your website, your email address, contact page, that kind of thing?
Yeah, do the email because you can look everything up on the page, but email if you really want to work with me or have an hour with me so I can answer your questions. Email is best because I look at it because I'm a writer. I'm on it 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm like, don't send me a message on Instagram. I want to check that
I
in
won't
2
get it.
months.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Email me. I'm old school, right?
me too, because I don't always hear the ding, especially
Yeah,
you want to
right.
hear something funny that just happened to me? You're not going to believe this. I'm really
Yeah.
good at social media, pretty much like Facebook and all that, and I've taught it for years and years, and I
Yeah.
teach my clients. But my friend was teaching me TikTok starting last August. We were going to Comic Con. We've been there for 20 years, and I put up a Comic Con thing. I got 500 views, and then I started putting up things. I started getting 200 views, 500 views. When I did a surfer who crashed in the waves, I got 2,000 views. I put it to the Beach Boys. And then the other day we went to this concert, and it was a Bee Gees tribute band, and I filmed them and I put it on TikTok after the whole year. Just she says try everything, put everything up. I put up some writing things. They didn't get very much, and you're not going to believe what happened to me. I can't believe it. I got 2.3 million hits. Yeah, yeah.
On the BG cover band.
And the tribute band were so excited that they wrote me, and we're in constant contact. They say you're the best thing that's ever happened to us. We're getting offers all over the world, and you can come to all their concerts for free.
That
I don't
is
know what I'm doing.
cool.
I have no idea what I did.
That is, you know what? That is too cool. That is so awesome. I love going. I live in Northwest Arkansas, and they have the big venue at the amp where like world and then they got the thing down in Fayetteville where it's kind of the leftover has been where it used to be a brewery and they turned it into like kind of a venue, and that's what they do. They'll have like the old like Poison group or Def Leppard or like even the rap, and they're just they're the wannabe, and they do all the songs. You know what? You pay like $10 to $20 for a ticket. There's no lines to go to the bathroom or to get a beer or anything, and you close your eyes and you feel like you're
They're
there.
good. They're really good. These guys were so good we could hardly stand it. And you know what? It was for our old. I've been taking my mandarins to the co-op, to our big co-op, and we're all been there forever. And I knew everybody there. It was like 200 people, and everybody had gray hair now because we're older. And so when they started playing this one song, everybody started going down the hill to dance. And it was all this gray hair going in front of me, gray hair, all the way down. And so the comments were, oh my God, those people are twice of my age, but look at how they can dance. And then they all go, I'm coming down the hill. And the next person goes, I'm coming down the hill too. Hey, I'll meet you at the bottom of the hill. And they're from all over the world. It was this whole thing about the gray-haired people coming down the hill. It was really funny.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
My friend sitting next to me, she looks just like Kate Jackson. I didn't know that because I don't even know who she is really. But everybody started saying, look, because I filmed her and she's going like this, really kind of cool. And everybody's going, Kate Jackson's here. Oh my God, there's Kate Jackson. She's looking really good for her age. That's the funniest thing that ever happened to me ever.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it.
Oh, here I am. This is my TikTok site if you want to see it. Publishing King. I made myself an odd name that people would be drawn to.
Okay, cool.
Publishing King.
Cool. I've got all your links and all your stuff. And please, hey, send me an email. And tell me when you're having your summit, and I'll put it on all the posts. I'll put it on everything that we do this week.
If you want, I could bring some Cinderellas, and we could do another interview with several Cinderellas in the book. If you want,
If you want to do that, if you would like to do that, I'll do a special episode, and I'm down. I love to do that. Yeah, we'll do a special episode. Absolutely, yeah, hands down. That sounds so much fun. Heck yeah, we'll do it. Hey, if you're good, I'm good. We'll wind this down and just stay on for just a minute afterwards if you don't mind, and so you don't just have a quick one. But if do you have anything else you want to share before I take us out?
Well, I think you're wonderful, and thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And hey, guys, it's Mila Johansen, and what I always tell you is, if you have the urge and you have the feeling and you're like, God, I would like to talk to her, you have to make the first step. You have to get the courage, and you got to send a 2-line email because she can't read your mind. Okay? So you have to do that. And then guess what? she will meet you 80% of the way. Okay. I'm telling you, right? But you have to make the first step because she doesn't know who you are right now. If you want
Yep,
to,
I'm here.
get in touch. No idea what could come of it. And you know, that's what Conquerors Crew is about, right? So hey, God bless all of you guys. Godspeed this week, and never forget that grit don't quit. We're